Good morning. Here we are at Narendra Modi Stadium and the first test between India and West Indies. This is the first home test of the season. It will start tomorrow on the day of Dussehra. How to start? It is green grass of home at Motera. If you look at the pitch, it's a bit unconventional Motera pitch in the sense with the grass cover. Even if they use the lawnmower, about 5 mm of grass is likely to stay on the pitch, and things are going to be, with overcast conditions, things are going to be seamer friendly. Now, here is the trick in the sense that last year, India preparing square turners for home pitches, for home test matches rather, against New Zealand, badly backfired. India suffered an unprecedented 3-0 home whitewash against the Kiwis. See, that series started in seamer-friendly conditions in Bangalore. But India, in that test match in the first innings, they were bundled out for 46. After that, in the next two test matches, India chose to play on Bunsen's and suffered heavy defeats. Now, one of the reasons why this Motera pitch has a grass cover is the soil composition. This venue has both black soil pitches and red soil pitches. This match is going to be played on a pitch which is composed by red soil. Now, red soil needs a bit of grass cover to bind the surface. Because what happens if you shave up the grass, the surface disintegrates. This is exactly what had happened at Wankhede last year against New Zealand, and where, the spinners held sway. Mitchell Santner and others, the New Zealand spinners, they held sway. Indian spinners also got plenty of wickets, but Indian batsmen failed miserably. One of the factors I think that India are thinking about, that earlier this year, in January, West Indies won a test match against Pakistan on a ranked turner in Pakistan. So maybe India are a bit wary. Even at the team selection press conference, chief selector Ajit Agarkar said, we don't want a repeat of the New Zealand series. And this is probably the reason why they will go on with the green surface. And also, a couple of absentees in the West Indies squad is contributing to it, because two of their frontline seamers, one is Alzari Joseph, who is a very good bowler, Shamar Joseph, who on his day can run through a batting lineup. Both have been ruled out due to injuries, and their replacements are basically green-ons at this level. So from that point of view, West Indies' pace attack is depleted, and West Indies is batting. The less said, the better. Only recently, in a day-night test match at Jamaica against Australia, West Indies were bundled out for 27. So, it's such a batting unit. If they are sort of 74 no loss, this team can get bundled out for 90. So, you never know. But, Motera, if you look at the history of this venue and the pitch, in 2021, when India played here against England, they played two test matches. One is a pink ball test, that was also a ranked turner, a dust bowl sort of, and the another test was also a dust bowl. And Indian spinners made merry. In one of those matches, interestingly, Joe Root picked up a 5-4. As a part-time off spinner for England, but he picked up a 5-4. But if you go back a little bit, you will see Motera has a history of producing seamer-friendly pitches. In 1983, against the mighty West Indies led by Clive Lloyd, spinners got wickets in plenty. Kapil Dev got 9 wickets in an innings, although India lost the test match. In 94-95, Javagal Srinath took a 5-4 in a match-winning cause against South Africa, I guess, if I am not mistaken. Then, in 2007-8, the boot was on the other foot. South African spinners ran through Indian batting in seamer-friendly conditions. So, Motera, it's not like that Motera previously never had a green top. But this is, as I said, this is green grasshopper, one of the greenest pitches in recent times. India are going to play a test match. India's batting will have to do well. Let's see how it pans out. The way the focus is that this test match could be affected by intermittent drizzles or showers. Rain is forecast for tomorrow, the day 2 of the test match. I mean, there is no rain, and then again the rain might come back. So, given the overcast conditions and the surface, a green surface, Indian spinners, and Jasprit Bumrah was bowling at the nets. He was going full throttle. I think both Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj would be licking their lips. This is Shomik Chakraborty on behalf of Revsportz, Ahmedabad. Will Kuldeep Yadav play? That is the big question. I mean, even in a home test match, if Kuldeep Yadav doesn't play, on the face of it, that might sound preposterous. But then again, there is no guarantee given the conditions, a green pitch, overcast conditions. There is no guarantee. In England, Kuldeep Yadav didn't feature in one of the tests. India played 5 tests, but Kuldeep didn't feature in one of the tests. There was public outrage, but the Indian team management's decision not to play him and go with an extra batsman vindicated eventually with the series ending in a 2-2 draw. It was a very creditable result. Now, there is no point thinking that the Indian team management is being unfair on Kuldeep. It's purely, Kuldeep is plain unlucky. It's purely based on team composition and team balance. After the England series, I spoke to one of the team insiders, and he came up with a very, very sound logic. He said, see, in England, what happened? We had to fill a Virat Kohli-sized hole in the batting at number 4. So Shubman Gill was the number 4, and we had to rejig the entire batting lineup. So they chose a batting all-rounder. They chose a couple of batting all-rounders to make up for that absence, to make up for that Virat Kohli-sized hole. And Kuldeep unfortunately missed out. Now, this is the start of the home season, and you would expect that someone of Kuldeep's mettle would be one of the first names on the team sheet, because I mean it's a home series, home team against the West Indies, and he is, I mean, irrespective of what happens, he is the best spin bowler across formats. But it might not happen. Why? Because it's a green pitch. If India play an additional seamer in Nitish Kumar Reddy, then India would be focusing on not compromising on their batting. Now, on this pitch, a third seamer could be a luxury. But if India play Nitish Kumar Reddy, they can still accommodate Kuldeep as the third seamer. But if they go for Prashith Krishna, then it might be tricky, because you cannot play. Prashith Krishna is a complete mark with the bat. And Prashith Krishna, I mean, playing Prashith Krishna is always fraught with risks, because he licks runs. Even in red ball cricket, his economy rate is touching 5 per over. So from that point of view, you would always like to have Kuldeep Yadav in the side. But the thought process of this team management is different. If Kuldeep misses out, he would be once again very, very unlucky, in the sense that, I mean, Kuldeep will have every right to think that the world is not fair. But that's the way it is. 9 in a team of 11. 9 players are already locked in. There is a contest for 2 places. Who could be that? Will Devdutt Padikkal play? He is expected to play, because Karun Nair is not there, and India would like to have a specialist batsman. So Devdutt Padikkal has a chance of playing, but at the end of the day, you would like to see your best players playing irrespective of the conditions. That's the standard template. But team composition always doesn't happen that way. It's a matter of team balance. It's a matter of team balance. So India have already two spinners in Ravindra Jadeja and Washington Sundar. Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja, apart from being frontline spinners, they are, excellent batsmen. We all know that. They are very, very capable batsmen. Jadeja is one of the best all-rounders in the world. And Washington Sundar, ever since he was brought back to the Test fold last year against New Zealand, he has seamlessly sort of fit into that spin bowling all-rounders role. So, from that point of view, and India, irrespective of the fact that West Indies are not a top side, India would be very, very keen to ensure a repeat of the New Zealand series where they suffered a humiliating whitewash. Doesn't happen. So from that point of view, we have to see whether Kuldeep Yadav plays or not. But once again, Kuldeep Yadav, he would be plain unlucky if he misses out once again. This is Shomik Chakraborty on behalf of Revsportz, Narendra Modi Stadium, Ahmedabad.